For 87 minutes, the noise felt heavy. The kind of noise that presses against your chest and reminds you that time is running out. The scoreboard glowed stubbornly. The home fans were already tasting victory. The away section had grown quiet, not hopeless, just anxious. And then, in a blink, in a heartbeat, in a moment so small you could miss it if you dared to look away. He moved. One touch, one glance, one swing of the left foot. And just like that, Lionel Messi scored the equalizer. The stadium erupted into disbelief. But to understand that moment, to understand how it unfolded, why it mattered, and how the match bent toward destiny, you have to rewind. The setting, tension before the storm. It was a high-stakes MLS showdown. The atmosphere inside the stadium shimmered with rivalry and expectation. On one side stood Inter Miami CF, carrying the weight of global attention. On the other stood a determined opponent determined to prove that reputation doesn't win matches, execution does. The night air was thick, humid, electric. Every seat was filled. Cameras tracked every warm-up stretch. Commentators spoke in lowered, anticipatory tones. Because when Messi steps onto a pitch, nothing feels ordinary. First half, structure and frustration. From kickoff, the match unfolded tactically. Inter Miami sought control through possession. Short passes in midfield. Rotations between the lines. The fullbacks pushed high to stretch the defense. Messi drifted centrally, then wide, then deep, searching for pockets of space like a chess player rearranging the board. But the opposition had studied him. They pressed intelligently, closed passing lanes, doubled him when he received the ball between the lines, forced him backward. The first 15 minutes were cautious. Then came the breakthrough, but not from Miami. A quick counterattack caught Miami's defensive line exposed. A diagonal ball split the center backs. One clinical finish later, the home side led 1-0. The crowd exploded. Messi stood near midfield, hands on hips, studying. He wasn't frustrated. He was calculating adjustments and resistance. Inter Miami responded by increasing tempo. The midfield triangle began to circulate the ball more quickly, switching play side to side. Messi dropped deeper to collect possession. He attempted two early through balls, one intercepted, one just overhit. The opposition defended compactly, their shape disciplined. They allowed Miami possession in non-threatening areas but collapsed quickly near the penalty box. A curling Messi free kick just before halftime forced a spectacular save. The goalkeeper's fingertips denied him. Halftime arrived with Miami trailing 1-0. Second half, pressure mounts. When the teams emerged, Miami looked sharper. They pressed higher, won second balls more aggressively, forced turnovers near the opponent's box. Messi found slightly more space between midfield and defense. In the 58th minute, he dribbled past two players before being clipped just outside the area. Free kick. The stadium held its breath. The shot curled beautifully, but grazed the outside of the post. Close. Very close. The opposition began to tire. Defensive clearances grew hurried. Midfield transitions slowed. Yet the scoreboard remained unchanged. Time slipped. 70 minutes. 75 minutes. 80 minutes. Still 1-0. The emotional shift. With 10 minutes left, urgency replaced patience. Miami pushed numbers forward. Fullbacks overlapped relentlessly. Crosses flew into the box. One header was cleared off the line. Another shot deflected inches wide. The crowd sensed it, the inevitable push. But inevitability is fragile. The opposition wasted seconds strategically. Substitutions slowed rhythm. The referee checked his watch. Then it happened. The equalizer, and just like that. In the 87th minute, Miami regained possession near midfield. A quick pass to the right. A return ball into the center. Messi received it 25 yards from goal. Two defenders stepped forward. He feinted left, shifted right, created half a yard of space. The strike came without warning, low, precise, curling toward the far corner. The goalkeeper reacted late. The ball kissed the inside of the post. Net. Silence. Then eruption. Messi didn't over-celebrate. He spread his arms slightly, eyes lifted toward the stands, breathing steady. 1-1. And just like that, the match transformed. Final minutes, chaos and belief. The equalizer shifted momentum completely. The home side, once comfortable, suddenly looked rattled. Clearances lacked conviction. Midfield structure wavered. Miami surged forward with belief. Messi nearly assisted a dramatic winner in stoppage time, threading a delicate through ball that forced a desperate last-ditch tackle. The final whistle blew with the score level. But emotionally, it felt like a victory for Miami. Tactical breakdown. Inter Miami's approach. High possession buildup. Messi drifting centrally to orchestrate. Late game attacking overloads. Increased tempo in final third. Opposition strategy. Compact defensive shape. Counterattacking focus. Disciplined pressing lanes. Time management in final stages. The match was a study in patience versus discipline. For 87 minutes, discipline held. For 3 seconds, genius prevailed. Why it matters. Football is not always decided by dominance. Sometimes it is decided by timing. Messi did not control every moment. He was marked, pressured, denied repeatedly. But he needed only one moment. One misaligned defensive step. One window of space. One perfect strike. That is what separates good players from transcendent ones. The final image. As players exchanged jerseys, the stadium slowly emptied. The home fans left disappointed, victory within reach, then gone. The away section sang louder than ever. Messi walked off calmly, jersey soaked, expression neutral. But the story had already been written. A match that seemed destined for frustration had turned in an instant. And just like that, Messi scored the equalizer. Not with drama, not with theatrics, but with inevitability.